Hi, my name's Tony Law from Your First Four Houses, and in this first ever edition of Property News, I want to give you my thoughts on the impact of the recession as far as it's affecting property, but I also want to give you my prediction on property prices over the next 12 to 18 months. And lastly, I want to add a few really important tasks to your to-do list. So let's start things off by looking at the recession impact and how that's affecting all levels of business. The Chancellor recently stated the UK is likely to face a severe recession, the likes of which we have not seen due to the coronavirus lockdown. As we're all fully aware, the economy has come to a grinding halt, although at the time of filming, some businesses are slowly starting to reopen. Unemployment is rising despite government support, but this is currently somewhat unseen, in my opinion, due to the number of furloughed workers. In fact, 1 in 3 furloughed workers are working within the hospitality industry. 11.2 million people are receiving some form of income support, and the cost to the taxpayer for this support is rising towards £100 billion. In my opinion, from August onwards, we'll start to see if companies are going to be keeping staff on, because it's from then onwards that they're going to have to start putting their hands in their pockets to subsidise some of these high levels of cost. Clearly, some businesses will see a very, very slow return to normality, and my personal view is we're going to see major impact moving well into 2021, although I acknowledge that's just my personal view. Let's talk a little bit about the property market and what's happening there. Well, the first thing we have to say is that before the outbreak, the housing market was really picking up as a direct result of things like the Conservative election win at the back end of last year, record employment levels, and of course a really low cost of borrowing, which is still the case today. In April, mortgage approvals fell to 16,000, which is their lowest since 1993, and in May, house prices had their biggest fall for 11 years, which is really clearly shown here. In fact, the average house values dropped by 1.7% so far, and so your average house now is £218,902. Clearly, there is a very high level of uncertainty, to say the very least. By the way, if you're finding this video helpful, I would love it if you'd give me a quick click on that thumbs up. It really helps me if that's okay. So what I'd like to do now is to give you a few future predictions, if that's okay. But the first thing I have to say is that what follows is speculation only. These are just my personal views. You have to do your own due diligence. So in 2008-2009, the housing market was really in the doldrums for 18 months, and I remember that oh so clearly. House prices ended up crashing by approximately 19%. So of course the big question is history about to repeat itself? In my opinion, it will depend on how many people are able to hold on to their jobs, because that's clearly going to have the biggest impact on house prices. And the problem is that companies are currently pruning their workforces, aren't they? Maybe a lot of this is going on unseen, but certainly because of the whole lockdown, businesses have had to rethink the way that they're going to work. And I personally think that when employees start to come back into the workplace, management are going to rethink. They're going to be pruning, they're going to become leaner, or maybe just throwing the towel in altogether. Personally, I believe there are going to be an awful lot of job losses. And this, of course, could lead to a very deep recession. Keep in mind here, these are just my personal views. You should make up your own mind. Last but not least, I'd like to give you a few tasks that I think should be at the very top of your to-do list, because honestly, I think for property investors, this could be a very special time indeed. So the first thing is you've got to get your funding in place, in my opinion. That needs to be a primary focus. I know that for some people this is going to be the easy bit because they've got money in the bank, and for others it's going to be more challenging. But maybe see if you can think up 2 different ways that you could fund an incredible deal. You need to schedule time into your diary, because honestly there's a lot of tasks that you should be doing, and I'd encourage you to set up a default diary. Maybe check out this link or in the description box below if you're not sure how to do that, and it will teach you exactly how to do so. You need to consider how you're going to be getting leads, and it's really important that you have some kind of a system in place. that enables you to get a pipeline of leads, because most of the deals that you look at will fall out of bed. So you need to know that there's another one coming up straight behind it. So maybe you're going to do direct to seller marketing, and I would strongly encourage you to look at that, especially at the moment. So that's going to be online, offline, or maybe direct letters to existing owners. Or maybe you're going to soulfully connect with agents. That's both estate agents and letting agents. By soulfully, I mean not a superficial connection, I mean a soulful connection. You need to get to the top of their little black book. With offers, I think you need to take into consideration the likely drop in prices when you're submitting any kinds of offers, and don't become a motivated buyer. I do personally think, again just my opinion, I personally think you've got a little bit of time on your side, so you need to look for the best deal over the next few months, and you will find some incredible deals. Very last but not least, please check out my 10 key skills playlist, because in there I'm going to teach you all the various different techniques and strategies that you need to nail down some incredible deals.